There's a point you reach on the path to self-mastery where people stop understanding you. They stop relating to your routine. They stop recognizing your priorities. They start whispering, "He's obsessed. She's extreme. They're going too far." What they don't realize is this: true discipline always looks insane to the undisciplined. Because when you choose structure over comfort, purpose over ego, growth over excuses, you stop living like everyone else. And the moment you stop living like everyone else, you stop being understood by them. 1. Silence your ego before you begin. The biggest threat to your discipline isn't laziness, it's ego. Ego is the voice that tells you you're already doing enough. Ego is the voice that wants validation instead of improvement. Ego is the voice that wants to be admired without having to transform. Ego craves applause. Discipline craves progress. And both cannot live in the same room. People fail to become disciplined because their ego convinces them they're already ahead, already superior, already better than most. But better than most is a trap. It keeps you complacent. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you from becoming the person you were meant to be. If you want discipline, you have to kill the part of you that needs to feel important. Because a disciplined person doesn't chase admiration. They chase mastery. A disciplined person doesn't say, "Look at what I've done." They say, "Look at how much further I can go." Humility is the foundation discipline stands on. Without it, you're building a strong body on weak bones. The one who silences their ego becomes unstoppable because they stop seeking approval and start seeking improvement. And when you stop needing recognition, you unlock a freedom few people ever taste, the freedom to get better quietly, consistently, relentlessly. 2. Show up in the dark, not the spotlight. The world thinks discipline is built in the public eye, where everyone can see your effort, but the truth is the opposite. Discipline is built in the hours that don't count. In the mornings, no one sees. In the nights, no one praises. In the moments where it's just you and your goal and your refusal to break. Anyone can perform when people are watching. Very few can perform when the world is asleep. Your reputation means nothing here. Your history means nothing. Your mood means nothing. What matters is whether you show up when showing up looks pointless. You don't get disciplined by waiting for motivation. You get disciplined by training yourself to work without emotion, to wake up without negotiation, to move without permission, to commit without applause. When you learn to show up without needing the world to notice, you gain a strength the world can't take away. This is why people call disciplined individuals crazy, because they can't understand someone who works without validation, someone who trains without praise, someone who keeps going even when nothing seems to be happening. Discipline is boring, it's repetitive, it's lonely, but that's also why it's powerful. You build a reputation with others by what you do in front of them, but you build discipline by what you do when no one is checking. 3. Destroy the illusion of balance. People will tell you to slow down, to relax, to find balance. But here's the truth. Balance is a word average people use to justify average effort. Nobody becomes great by being balanced. No one builds a legacy by giving equal weight to distractions and dreams. No one becomes feared, respected, or unstoppable by living in moderation. Greatness is not balanced. It's focused. It's obsessive. It's narrow. It's intentional. You want to know why disciplined people intimidate others? Because a disciplined person isn't pulled in 10 directions. They aren't scattered. They aren't diluted. They aren't available for every impulse, every temptation, every distraction. They are devoted. And devotion looks extreme to anyone who's never committed to anything deeply. There will be seasons of your life where balance is the enemy, where your goal needs 90% of your energy, where your routine needs strict boundaries, where your dream demands sacrifice. People will call you crazy because you're doing what they won't do, because your standards expose their excuses, because your clarity makes their confusion uncomfortable. But That's the price of discipline. You lose approval, but you gain destiny. 4. Become immune to distraction. Turn focus into a weapon. Distraction is the modern-day enemy of discipline. It's subtle, it's patient, it's everywhere. And the truth is, most people aren't lazy. They're simply overwhelmed by options. Every notification fractures your attention. Every temptation steals a piece of your momentum. Every interruption demands a decision, and decisions drain energy. If you want to become so disciplined, people think you're crazy. You must learn to eliminate decisions before they reach you, not manage them, not negotiate with them. Eliminate them. This is how disciplined people operate. They don't wait for distractions to appear. They remove them from the environment altogether. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. They don't trust their impulses. They structure their world so impulses lose their power. Your focus should feel protected, guarded, fortified. Turn your phone off when you work. Block the websites that steal your time. Let people know your boundaries. Build routines so sharp they slice through uncertainty. Focus is a finite resource, and you either use it or the world will use it for you. Most people drown in noise because they try to outrun it. Disciplined people take a different approach. They shrink their world. They reduce inputs. They simplify choices. They build a life with fewer doors, fewer distractions, fewer temptations. The more you reduce, the more you strengthen. The more you simplify, the more you accelerate. The more you protect your attention, the more dangerous you become. People will call you extreme for not living in chaos with them. But it's the chaos they're loyal to, not the life they're trying to build. 5. Build a discipline. So powerful. Even your excuses stop working. Most people negotiate with their goals. I'll start tomorrow. I'm tired today. I'll try again next week. I'm not feeling it. Discipline collapses the moment you give your excuses a seat at the table. If you want to become truly disciplined, you must create a version of yourself that does not reason with weakness. Not because you're perfect, but because you've decided your purpose deserves more than your excuses. Disciplined people don't follow their moods. They don't wait for the right moment. They don't obey the emotional weather of the day. They follow their standards. They obey their commitments. They move whether they feel like it or not. Your excuses only have power when you listen to them. Take away the microphone, and they die in silence. Here's the brutal truth. There will never be a day when your excuses disappear. There will never be a season where discipline feels effortless. There will never be a perfect moment where everything aligns. So, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for clarity. Stop waiting for the storm to pass. A disciplined person moves inside the storm. They act in spite of fear. They progress in spite of doubt. They rise in spite of resistance. Your future self is built on the days you did it anyway. And when you start treating discipline as a non-negotiable part of who you are, not something you try, but something you are, you become untouchable. Your excuses lose their power. Your old habits lose their influence. Your past identity loses its grip. And that's when people start calling you crazy. Because you're no longer operating at the level of emotion. You're operating at the level of identity. You're no longer pulled by comfort. You're pulled by purpose. You're no longer reacting to life. You're shaping it. Discipline isn't about becoming robotic. It's about becoming free. Free from impulses. Free from distractions. Free from the version of yourself that never lived up to its potential. When you silence your ego, when you work in the dark, when you reject balance, when you weaponize your focus, when you stop negotiating with excuses, you become something rare, something intimidating, something powerful. You become the kind of person who doesn't need to announce their goals. Your habits speak for you. Your routine becomes your reputation. Your discipline becomes your identity. Your results become undeniable. People will call you obsessed, extreme, crazy. but they will also call you successful. Become so disciplined that the world can't understand you, because the world only understands the average, and you were never meant to be average.